Probably one of the most exciting parts of the trip here was a deep dive tech strategy session, and really thinking through, first of all, what's our status for Zendu and then the subsequent Lattice delivery. And you heard the CoinSpect audit came back way better than expected, which is fantastic because we can move forward. But then also thinking through the subsequent Lattice delivery. So we have 2 deliveries, ideally both of them this year, and it looks like everything's on track for that. So it was just really good news all around. But we also did we motivated these strategy sessions with an analysis of where are we and with respect to the rest of the industry. So how does our technology sit? How does our ecosystem maturity sit relative to other peers, other public blockchain projects, other companies in the industry? And I can say 2 big takeaways without naming names in terms of competitors. I can say from an ecosystem building perspective, it sure does feel like we're behind. Now, we do have, in many ways, a mature ecosystem, a 4-year mature ecosystem we've been building methodically. But if you just look at some of the types of things that are being built in other ecosystems, like stable coins, like NFT platforms, like a variety of flavors of DeFi, you don't see that stuff today on Horizen. So from one perspective, you can say we're behind on the ecosystem, and we know we have to catch up. And that's going to be a huge effort, but we're going to do it intelligently. We're not going to just try to mimic everything, but we also have the benefit of it. And I've spoken about this, over the last several weeks. So there's nothing new there. But on the positive side, so besides just the benefit of hindsight, the technology that we took the time to mature and is going to mainnet soon is superior in many ways for certain things, right? And it's going to be up to us to cultivate the ecosystem around those certain things for which we really do have a competitive advantage. So I expect really big things and a very fast, kind of catch up on certain parts of ecosystem building in a very short period of time. And that's why we brought this big team together and we're really deep diving a strategy to make this stuff happen. But then some of the specifics and what we did, just the point of these sessions this last week was not necessarily to come up with that tech strategy, but to think about how we ought to come up with a strategy, right? So it's kind of like a meta strategy in a way. It's thinking about the process of thinking about it, not to get too abstract here, guys, but really, how are we going to identify projects, products? How are we going to prioritize them? Because we do have finite resources and decisions that we make might be exclusive or at least drive us down a particular path. So having a cohesive strategy that we're building intentionally that caters to the things that we're really good at with this type of technology is the important thing. So we did go through something called RICE, which for me was a bit of an educational session of evaluating every possible project with what is its reach, what is its impact, what's the certainty that we believe we could actually deliver that, and then what's the effort level, and then combining these things to actually rank priorities is the approach that we're taking. Now we deep dived and really fleshed out a bunch of products, potential product tasks and products, things that are with the core SDK, how we want to evolve that, modules around the SDK, things like tokenization, things like NFT standards and so forth, the things that we've been talking about. But then we also talked about ecosystem infrastructure stuff. Like, what's our wallet strategy going to be? We have some wallets out there today. Everyone knows that who's part of this project. But what is the most intelligent way for us to reach scale and have deep impact on a particular wallet strategy? So there's a whole bunch of other stuff that go into that we just put a big list out there, and we're going to be refining this, ranking things, and really figuring out how we're going to prioritize, both from the ecosystem perspective, like the foundation, and also for Horizen Labs, the software engineering firm. What kinds of products is it going to really look to focus on to bring to market quickly? So anyway, that's the gist of it. And sorry to be a little bit abstract, guys, or vague about it, because we're not quite done yet. And this was more about just kicking off the process. Normally, or historically, we've been doing this stuff in the fall in prep for, say, next year's roadmap, because this year's roadmap is fairly certain, right? We know we're delivering Zendu, we know we're delivering Lattice, and we're going to be surprising you guys with some really fun product stuff now that we have Zane and John on the team and building out that team further. But what's really important is making sure we have the right decision-making processes in place so that we can evaluate the best course of action for 2022 and beyond. So anyway, much to come on that. This is really just the start to kick it off. And it could not be more valuable to be here in person to actually do this with the guys.